Hello and welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the PS Vita. Many gamers have a skeptical idea about this system, and honestly, I can understand their worries. It had, a pretty poor showing at the E3 in July, and also people tend to think the system is not being supported very well by developers, especially in Japan, where PSP games are still coming out more in higher numbers than the actual Vita system. So I want to talk about 3 games today that actually give you a reason to purchase this system. And each of these games is unique in its own way. One is a port of 2 other games, but that should give you no reason not to want to play it again in portable form. So let's get started. The first game we're going to talk about is Gravity Rush. Gravity Rush came out for the PS Vita in June. The game revolves around a girl named Kat who suddenly gains powers to control gravity itself. And the game allows you to move around in ways I've never seen in any other game. Basically, it's sort of like when you have a dream and you are flying. That's how this game feels. You are actually moving all around the environment, and you feel like you are actually sort of a godlike character. You can float around at whim and do things such as pull in other types of characters and items into your gravitational field and throw them wherever you want. So you can kind of be a really cruel person and pick up actually NPC characters and toss them aside if you want. But the object of the game is to basically solve the mysteries of this world. These strange new creatures have shown up that are causing a lot of disturbances for the society. And basically, Kat is the only hope they have besides the military, which has grown really aggressive under this new kind of military regime. So the graphics in the game are fantastic. It's pretty much like the only game I've seen that with this style. You see a kind of French influence in the art with a sort of anime-inspired visuals. So it's a very unique blend of these two styles of artwork. And also there's a cel-shaded look to the graphics, which make you really believe that this game took a lot of time and effort on Sony's part, which they are the developers of the game. Originally, the system for Gravity Rush was the PS3, but during development, it actually changed it over to the Vita. So the game has an incredible visual flair, unlike anything I've seen before. And just playing the game is, it may sound kind of trite, but it is actually very just fun. You float around and you can fly anywhere within a certain limitations of the game. And as you play the game, the world opens up slowly to where you can fly very high into this world's areas of top of skyscrapers and onto flying airships, or you can float down to kind of a dark underworld of the city, which is a kind of hidden area at first, but it's kind of a spoiler if I tell you why this area is hidden. But overall playability is fantastic, and the graphics themselves are amazing. The music is a little overused in some areas, but overall the score is very nice. And the playability on the Vita, it's very nice because you can touch the screen and it's very responsive. And you can use the buttons; they're very responsive. So controls are no problem on this game. So honestly, if there's one game that's a system seller, quote unquote, for this PS Vita system right now, it has to be Gravity Rush. It's so original, so amazing. So I highly recommend it. If you are looking for one game to buy this system for, you should definitely check out Gravity Rush. Next, we have Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. The game has Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 on one tiny little card for your Vita. And I have to say, both games look so stunning on a small screen that you can hardly believe that they're a PS2 port. I originally picked up the game just because I'm a really big fan of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and I had no real passion for the second Metal Gear Solid game. I thought the story was kind of silly, and Raiden was not a very good main character. But I played through both games recently on the Vita, and I gained a new respect actually for Metal Gear Solid 2, and actually Metal Gear Solid 3 is just as stunning as I remember it to be. So it's a port. These are two ports of games that you may have already played before, but the Vita's OLED display makes both games look so amazing, and you will see details you've never seen before. I guarantee you, it's not really a good comparison between Metal Gear Solid 3 on the 3DS and the Vita version, because the Vita version honestly blows it out of the water. There's so many problems with the 3DS version. The controls are quite horrid, and I don't think the visual presentation is as sharp as it could be. So if you have to choose between a portable version of Metal Gear Solid 3, please choose the Vita version. It's really, really nice. The controls are great. The ability to play all of the, well, no, I'm not going to say all. Some things were cut from this release, such as the Snake versus Ape game, which was inspired by the Ape Escape series. I think maybe Sony Konami lost the license for adding this to the new port. But other things such as the original MSX Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 are on the card, so you can play those two titles just like Subsistence on PS2. Also, there's no online ability, but aside from those things, everything else on Metal Gear Solid 3 is really solid. No pun intended. And also the Metal Gear Solid 2 video game series, Subsistence. I can't remember the actual exact title the update got, but they do have the Snake's Tales added in, but they do not have the skateboarding mini game, which I think was inspired by some other Konami skateboarding game at the time of the PS2 launch. So that mini game is not included, but you do have Snake's Tales and you have the VR missions. So it's a really complete package for you can probably pick this game up used now for $25. So it's a great way to have two really fantastic games and keep them in portable. The last game is Hatsune Miku Project Diva F. This game is based on Vocaloids, which is a Japanese music program to create your own songs for characters like Hatsune Miku, and there's some other ones like Kaito, which is a male Vocaloid, and a few other female ones. There's a large following for this Vocaloid series in Japan. But this is the first game in the series I've managed to play because I honestly didn't know too much about it, and I thought the visuals were a little too moe, and that otaku genre usually doesn't interest me. But I was kind of desperate to play a music rhythm game on my Vita, so I did pick this game up, and I'm glad I did actually, because I really, really like it. It's kind of a change of pace from my usual action game genre that I've been playing on the go. So this style of game is, as close as I can say, it's a mix of Gitaroo Man style of button pressing with kind of a focus on DJ Max style timing. That may be a horrible explanation of it, but I'm not really an expert on music games, even though I do play them. So this game has really nice visuals. It's from Sega, and sadly, Sega has never brought any of the Project Diva games to the U.S. So if you want to play any of these games, you have to import them somehow through PlayAsia or maybe ncsx.com. But this game right now, if you pick up the Asian version, I picked up the Asian version of the game, which is not the Japanese one. So you can get it for maybe maybe around $50. The game is really fun if you like rhythm games. It has a really nice selection of music, from kind of zany beach music that sounds like maybe it was inspired by the Beach Boys, to kind of hard rock or just J-pop style music. So if you really like that type of variety, you can check out Hatsune Miku. There's so many customization features. You can decide the way each Vocaloid looks. And there are 4 difficulty levels: easy, normal, hard, and expert, with expert being positively insane. I cannot even beat more than 3 songs on it at the moment. But if you enjoy rhythm games, I have to say Hatsune Miku is a great choice. You may be a little turned off by the moe cutesy visuals, but honestly, you should try to get past that, because once you start playing the songs, it becomes really addictive, and you will find yourself quickly immersed in this game. So those are my recommendations for PS Vita games. Recently there was a firmware update which allowed you to play PS1 classics on the Vita, and they look really amazing. And there's some new features for filtering, and this really makes some of the titles pop, such as Vagrant Story looks amazing on the PS Vita screen. Also Silent Hill. I played a few other games. They look really great. And you can mess around with the filtering options at whim, so it's very easy to just hold the screen down until new options appear on the screen that allow you to change the emulation based on your own preference. There's also the PSP library, which is available in a sort of limited amount. There's not every PSP game I would want on the store, but there's a great number of games which are fantastic, like the recently released Growlancer 4, which looks really amazing on the PS Vita, and also games like the Metal Slug Anthology, which really amazed me when I played it, because the filtering option makes the game look so sharp, and I honestly thought it looked better than the Neo Geo MVS cabinet I used to play it. I used to play Metal Gear Solid 3 on as a kid. So if you have a chance, check out some of the back library of PS1 classics and PSP games. And in the upcoming months, there's going to be a lot of great releases. The new Street Fighter Cross Tekken update, which adds all of the DLC characters, so no worries to have to pay extra. It's all going to be on one Vita game card. And also there's going to be some great games like Assassin's Creed Liberation. So I definitely recommend the PS Vita. A lot of people feel like it's not achieving the success that it could achieve, and partly Sony is to blame for a poor showing at E3 and not really encouraging developers to make a lot of great games for the system so far. But I have faith that it will be a great system, one that every true gamer should buy. So I hope you enjoyed this video and had some gained some insights into PS Vita games that you should play. And I'll see you next time.